Are we live? I think so. Hey, YouTube world. It's your girl Tanya, back again for another review. So come on in, have a seat, sit down, and let's chat about the latest episode of Queen Sugar. Now, I'm still trying to figure out where did they find that delectable actor, Ralph Angel. We are now in season 3, episode 3. Doesn't seem like the show been on that long, but yep, here we are. Third season just started. The other day, episode 3 came on. So if you haven't been keeping up, we still got a chance for the season get too far ahead of you. And we're going to start. Basically, I want to first talk about the last episode, actually. If you recall in the last episode, um, Ralph Angel was awaiting the results of DNA tests for his son Blue. And I was praying, I was keeping my fingers crossed. I had all the hope in the world that Blue would be his. But a small part of me was telling me that's not his baby, that's not his baby, that's not his baby. But the thing about Ralph Angel, he's like a lot of good guys out there. That might not be my baby. His my blood might not be his blood, but that's still my son. So Ralph Angel found out at the end of the episode um, that Blue was not his, and it was a really emotional scene. And his sister Nova and Charlie, they were there for him, and consoling him and everything, telling him it's gonna be okay. And he was basically saying it's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna change anything. So I'm looking forward to finding out if that is going to be an issue down the line, since he did put Blue's mother out. Um, so, they were together and, trying to make their relationship work after she had got cleaned up and stopped doing drugs and got a job with Charlie, working at Charlie's office. And so then when he found out that it's a possibility, well, actually, I don't know if you remember in last season, but I believe it was her parents who had outed her, and that's how he found out that it's a possibility that it might not be his son. So that's when he decided to take a test and found out that Blue was not his child. So I'm looking forward to see what's going to become of that, because in a lot of cases, I know this is a TV show, but in a lot of cases, um, when DNA paternity test, comes back negative, the parent or the father who, had the parent role or played the parent role of the child, they end up either not dealing with the child as much. The mother basically starts raising the child by herself, or the father figure kind of be in and out the child's life. So I don't expect um, Ralph Angel to change how he feels towards Blue, but I have a feeling that it's going to be Blue's mom that's going to end up, you know, either trying to keep Blue away from him, maybe because of the fact that Ralph Angel don't want to be in a relationship with her right now. So, that could have something to do with, he put her out, and the child isn't even his. And he put the mama out. So, I mean, just looking at it from another view, that's not even your child. And you're keeping the child, away from his mother. And I don't think he's intentionally keeping the child away from the mother, but it just seems like I mean, she just recently popped up in the last episode, but I don't think she's playing a big part in Blue's life right now. So I don't. I just hope she don't go back to drugs. I hope this don't take her spiraling back down. You know, that route. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. If you think um, something's bad is going to come about because of that situation, him not being a dad or whatnot. And another thing that I wanted to touch on in this episode was I guess Charlie in the last episode. I'm gonna catch up with the third episode real quick. I'm just trying to, you know, recap on a few things from the second episode. But Charlie, if you remember, her and her son Micah and Nova and a few others had went to a basketball game at the high school, and it was an incident where when they were about to do the national anthem, a lot of the people, kids and including grown-ups, went out on the hardwood floor, on the basketball floor, and got down, took a knee, and didn't want to stand up for the flag. And next thing you know, all these racist uh, people with Confederate flags and everything started going off and getting upset and telling them go back where they came from and everything. And I'm like, Charlie, are you sure you made the right decision by letting Micah go from a private school to this school? I mean, y'all down in the dirty South, and you already know it's still prejudiced people down there. I don't care what year it is, it'll probably always be prejudiced people living down south. Because that's just, I mean, that lineage, some of them, they don't change. They raise their children to hate, and their children raise their children to hate, and so forth. And so, y'all know how it is. So, I think that was probably a bad choice, especially when I saw in this episode, it was an incident where Micah and his girlfriend, they were sitting at the lunch table with a few other students, and one of the security guards came up to one of the students and told him to get off the table, you know, sit down on the seat and not on top of the lunch table. Which I don't think that's anything that he probably shouldn't have told him. And I might have to watch it again, but if I can recall correctly, I don't believe the security guard got really rude or demeaning or anything like that. But the child, the teenager, he basically did. He basically sat there and basically, without words, just gave him a look like, who is you talking to? I'm not getting down. I'm sitting right here. I'm not moving. So the security guard turns around and just walks away. Now, I think that's going to be a problem for Charlie later because the whole reason why he's at that school, Micah, right now is because he told Charlie, he felt like he belonged there, like, he felt comfortable there, and instead of at the private school. So, last episode, she told him, basically she's still expecting him to do what he did in the private school, keep his grades up, stay on his P's and Q's. And he said, that's what he'll do. And she said she's going to trust him. But I'm kind of worried about Micah because I'm not feeling too good about that situation, especially when they got to the basketball game. If you recall, the same officer that had pulled over Micah and had put his gun in Micah's mouth, and basically scared him and tortured him, till he was terrified, horrified, and he came home, told his father, told Charlie, eventually. It took him a minute, but he finally told, what happened to him when he got arrested. So Charlie happened to see that officer, and he was actually at the game with, looks like his grandbaby. I believe it said it was his grandson. And Charlie didn't say anything to him. She just kind of stared at him, just kind of looked at him, and but you could tell from the expression on her face that it brought back memories of what happened to her son. And then also she came across some footage of that same officer beating on somebody that they had pulled over. And so I think what's going to happen is maybe there's going to be some big lawsuit. Maybe a lot of people are going to come forward against this cop. That's what I'm hoping, because Micah cannot. I mean, I can't imagine him being the only one that has had an issue had an issue with this cop. So I'm hoping that something does, happen regarding that issue, and cop gets fired or whatnot. And what else was something else I wanted to discuss about the last episode? Oh, okay. Hollywood and Violet, um, aka Vi. This episode, they were getting ready for to go to his high school reunion. But before the reunion, Charlie had got approached by Nova. Nova confronted her about how does she make the deal, or what kind of deal did she make with the Landrys. Now the Landrys, they have a very large enterprise down south, a lot of farms, a lot of land, and they own a lot of property. And I guess the Landrys, Sam in particular, has been dealing with Charlie. Charlie struck up a deal with Sam, and basically she sold their land, their farm, to the Landrys. Now, Charlie, I don't know what you were thinking. She claims that this is going to be, result into a good thing where she can take the Landrys down completely and, have access, being that she sold their land for 1% of the Landry enterprise. So she claims with this 1% stake in the company that she'll be able to take the Landrys down one stake at a time. And because she found out that they have all kind of lawsuits that was placed on them, and they in debt, got a lot of debt, and making backdoor deals and all kind of stuff. So she basically saying she'll have access to all that information, which will help her take down the Landrys. I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of worried. I mean, it took them a lot to get the farm up and running after their father passed. But she basically set on trying to take these Landrys down, and I hope this 1% stake in the company will help her do that, because if not, I can't imagine what'll happen. So after they discussed that, and Nova went off, and Vi and Hollywood and everybody, in shock about what she did, um, her son Micah walks in, and he actually overhears like the end piece of the conversation, and he gets upset and he leaves out the room and ends up staying the night at Vi's house because he didn't want to go home with his mom because he was upset that she sold the property. So, after that, Vi and Hollywood move right along, go to the reunion. This is what I was anxious to get to. he went to his high school reunion, and he's looking nice. He's looking all nice and dapper in his blue, and Vi is looking, beautiful in her little get up, and they're enjoying themselves at the reunion, mingling, chatting with old schoolmates, and out of the blue, one of Hollywood exes just strolls up asking him, how he been, where he been with his fine self, and Vi is sitting there looking like, you know, who is this? Hollywood, who is this? So I'm like, oh, she's bold. She just, I mean, she don't know if he's with his wife or whatnot, and she grabbed him and hugged him and held on to him, and it sounded like she was just moaning. Oh, it sounded like she was moaning and was enjoying that hug a little too much. And oh my god, that was so funny. I'm surprised Vi didn't like pull her off of him, like how Beyonce approached that chick who's trying to give Jay Z a hug. But anyway, that's another discussion for another day. But yeah, I thought she was gonna pull a bay on her, but she didn't. She's a lady. She's a lady. She's a Southern lady, and she definitely showed how a Southern lady acts, and she let Hollywood handle that. And anywho, so everything's fine after that. They continue to mingle and chill with the people, at the party, at the reunion, discussing, good times, old times with the classmates. And here she comes again. The ex strolls over, sits down. I guess one of their songs that came on that was one of their songs, one of them old school songs that came on. And she wanted to dance and had asked him could hold on, let me back up. Okay, first of all, when she first approached him earlier, she basically ignored Vi. Remember, I said Vi just stood there, looking like Hollywood. Who is this? She basically ignored Vi and said hi to everybody else and then left and ignored Vi. So then she comes back to the table and she sits down and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I meant to speak to you back then, or I'm sorry I forgot to speak to you, or whatever." And tells Vi, mind you, Vi is now fiance because Hollywood, with his large settlement that he got at the end of last season, he went out and bought her a really nice wedding ring. So they are now engaged and planning to get married. But the ex, she sits down and she tells him, I'm sorry, tells Vi, "I'm sorry, I meant to speak to you back then, but I'm sorry I didn't get to speak to you, back there, And she was like, "I think we met a long time ago when I was in high school. And I was dating your son for a few months." And Vi is looking like, "No, she didn't. Just call me his mama." And she's like, "You're his mom, right?" So, mm, me personally, that was probably when I probably would have went off. I did the lady thing. She acted, and she acted very ladylike in the beginning when the ex came up and gave him this nice, really tight hug. And then, when I would have went off, but Hollywood interrupts again and tells her that is not my mother. That is actually my fiance. We are going to get married. So this what cracked me up when the ex says, "Oh, really?" She's like, "Oh, this your fiance?" Like, I know she was looking like, okay, she's old enough to probably be his mama, but she called her basically his mama. And now I guess she needed some good comeback because she's feeling stupid. So I don't know if she meant to tell her. I mean, meant to be like, I don't know if she meant to be funny or if she was serious, she couldn't have been serious. Nah, she couldn't have been serious. When she told her, "You don't look a day over 25." That's what she told Vi. You don't look. How you gonna call him his mama in 1 second? Don't you remember me years ago when I used to date your son? You know, and then now that she finds out that's his fiance, she's like, "Oh, you don't look a day over 25." And so Hollywood quickly, he better get Vi out of there. He quickly swept Vi up, told that ex, I'm sorry, no thank you on the dance request. This is my forever dance partner. I'm good. I'm good. And they go off to dance and whatnot. But after they finished dancing, Vi kind of walked over to the side to get a drink, and I thought she was gonna have a heart attack. She looked like she was having a heart attack or a stroke or a panic attack. I don't know what was going on. And I mean, it looked like she was about to collapse. And then the way the scene was, how they paused and made it all dramatic, like you could hear her heart pounding, like boom, 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 boom. I'm thinking she's about to have a heart attack and pass out. And I'm like, oh, did that girl get her, that riled up? Well, the lady, get her that riled up, the ex. But anyway, the scenes ends with them sitting outside, talking, discussing. So I don't I don't know what to expect about that because Vi has lupus. She's sick and she has lupus. And Hollywood is already overprotective of her, and trying to make her pull back from a few things and not do so much. He wants to take care of her. And if you've been watching this from season 1, episode 1, Hollywood really, really, really loves Vi. And I know he'll take care of her if she got really sick. But I don't know. I don't know. I think next episode she might end up in the hospital or something. I don't know because I really swear I thought she was gonna have a heart attack, but she didn't. And so, let's see. What do you guys think about Ralph Angel and his situation? It looks like ever since he found out about Blue not being his, it looks like he's using women, spontaneous relationships, uh, one night stands. I don't know what you want to call them, but all of a sudden he's interested in other women and having them come over and getting his thing on, getting his groove on, and then sending them on his way. And the other day, um, Blue, who started acting out at the beginning of season 2. I'm sorry, at the end of season 2, Blue started acting out, and after he found out that his mom wasn't gonna be staying there, he started acting out, being disrespectful. At the beginning of this season, he's still being disrespectful, not listening to his father, and then he starts peeing in the bed, and Ralph Angel catches him, in his room looking for clean clothes, and he started using the bathroom in the bed. I think that's just a part of him missing his mom and just being confused about everything that's going on. So the other day, Blue catches one of the girls, over getting dressed after, I guess, her and Ralph was doing their little thing and whatnot. And he's like, "Who is that? Who's that lady? What is she doing here?" And obviously, I think something just automatically hit Ralph Angel. Like, what am I doing? I just put his mother out. I just found out he's not mine. Now I'm having all these women coming over in the middle of the night, So he tells the female when she comes over again, he thinks he wants to fall back and I guess basically take things slow. And I kind of understand um, men sometimes. women do too. When you have a breakup with somebody and it's like something you have to do, just how they say, to get over one, you got to get under another. So I think that's kind of what he was doing right now, but I think he sees that Blue isn't okay. He's really not okay. He's showing out, misbehaving, using the bathroom in the bed, all of a sudden. And so I'm glad that Ralph Angel, I'm hoping that after he sent that lady away, it was because, when he said he wants to pull back, that he's going to focus more on Blue and make sure Blue's okay with his cute little self. But that's about all the really big scenes that I want to discuss right now. Oh, one more thing. One more thing before I go. Before I go. But oh yeah, feel free also. I know I say this in my videos before, but feel free. You can comment in the comment section if you want. If you have any questions or any ideas about shows or what you think about certain cast members, feel free to post in the comments. Um, but the last thing I wanted to hit on was the guy that came to the farm looking for a job. Now, I guess I'm sorry, not Blue, Ralph Angel's um, probation officer told him that he can get off probation early, be off papers and everything, if he hires somebody who was a convicted felon. So, the guy who's supposed to be showing up for an interview, he's late, and Blue, I mean, why I keep calling him Blue? Ralph Angel is a little concerned, like, you late. The guy's like, I don't have a car. Ralph Angel's like, well, buses, they don't be late. They run on time, so you need to figure that out. So, anywho, Ralph Angel was kind of concerned and not too sure about hiring this guy or not. And he sat down and talked to him, found out the guy used to steal cars, sell parts, and everything like that. And, he's reminded by his sister, you are an ex felon as well. You still on probation, but you got a second chance. You running this big old farm, turned your life around, raising your son, even though we just found out Blue's not his son, but you know what I mean. So at the end, looks like Ralph Angel's gonna give him a chance. I'm not too sure about that either. I don't know if he's taking a chance on this guy and he shouldn't, but mm, mm, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to come about of that also. But anywho, I'm gonna get off this YouTube for now. Some of my shows come on tonight, so I will be bringing you another review really, really soon. Um, I don't think I did a review on. Yeah, we did Love and Hip Hop the other day, and today we did Black Sugar. So, I'm thinking my next review might be on Basketball Wives, but the new episode comes on. It's Friday. The new episode comes on in a few days, so I think what I'll do is put the last episode and the next episode of Basketball Wives together, and then do a review on them after the next episode of Basketball Wives. So again, thank you for coming to my channel and coming to my new page. I hope you like the videos. Please make sure you click like on the videos. Please make sure you subscribe. And also make sure that you share the video. And I'm sorry, I'm up here sharing the video right now. Sorry, I forgot. So, okay, I just went ahead and shared it to Facebook. So, anyway, you can follow me on Facebook also. My Facebook name is Tanya Haley, TanyAHaley. And I think my Instagram page is, hmm, I'll get back to you on that. I cannot remember my Instagram name right now off the top of my head. But anyway, I'll get back to you on that. So anyway, I will see you guys later. Happy Friday. I hope you guys enjoy this weekend. It's going to be hot here. I'm in Omaha also. I don't know if I said that before in my other videos, but I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. And it has been super, 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 super hot. And it's supposed to be almost 100 this weekend. So everybody who's in my town, make sure you stay cool. Stay hydrated. Look out for your elderly, for your neighbors, your pets. Don't leave them pets outside. Don't leave them in the car. Don't leave your children in your car. I don't even know why I gotta say that, but every summer you see it all the time. Children left in the car when it's hot as hell and dying. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And pets too. I mean, pets are like children to some people, so I don't understand how people can leave their pets in the car anyway. But anyway, that's another soap opera. So anyway, I will holler at you guys later. Be blessed, no stressed, and enjoy your weekend. Goodbye.